Abdullahi Ibrahim. My policy paper was about rewiring Nigeria's industrial policy for employment. I have had a lot of interest in policy, but I didn't have as much experience in policy writing specifically. I mean, I practice evaluation and research. I've been doing that for more than 6 years. But over the years, I've seen that a lot of what we write really just sits on paper or sits on the cloud or the desk. And I got the opportunity to meet one of the alumni from the first cohort. And I saw that he was really transformed. And I asked myself that, why shouldn't I be transformed? And I got to apply for the Policy Writing Fellowship. And that's really the main thing that made me apply at that time. All right. So interestingly, I'm careful to not think about only one significant moment. I think I'll highlight two. The first one was right from the in-class sessions, the physical sessions, and it was about the concept of political economic analysis. For me, it changed a lot about how I thought about policy and how I thought about a lot of other things. It meant that I was careful to think about what I was writing or what I was trying to research or what I was trying to advocate or communicate, who was going to be impacted by it, who was going to influence it, why do they need to influence it, and how do I get to influence them to move in the right direction. So that was one of the most significant moments for me because it changed the way I thought about policy writing completely. And then the next was during the mentorship and guidance session with the dear ED of Agora Policy, that's Mr. Waziri Adu. There were several conversations we had. Sometimes we speak for over 1 hour on the phone, just going through concepts and approach to writing and how I can further make my policy brief more effective. And through all of that engagement, a lot of it was about helping me think about my own thinking as it pertains to policy writing. And that made a lot of difference for me because there it ignited my sense of agency to go and research more, even beyond the scope of what the fellowship intended to deliver. And that for me has continued to be the best that I've gotten out of the fellowship up until this moment. Where I see my policy work or advocacy work headed in the next 6 to 12 months, that's a good question. I think that firstly, it will mean that the work that I'm doing will also continue to change and evolve with the realities because it doesn't mean that what I've learned will work for the future. So I'll keep adapting to the context, adapting to the stakeholders, and adapting to the realities so that it works for the greater good. There's a concept of ensuring that the value of trade-off is well assessed during the course of the policy writing fellowship. And it meant that you're always checking. If I'm going to say that I recommend A, B, C, how would it be of the better good and cause less harm? Because it's unlikely that there is a policy that addresses good completely and causes no harm at all. So where my policy work and advocacy work is headed is in ensuring that there is a complete and effective and optimal assessment of the lay of land, the stakeholders, before making any review or engaging stakeholders or offering any recommendations. And it means that beyond then, where I write to the right stakeholders in the right tone and in the right approach. I also engage them the right way. Sometimes you use different words depending on the context. So I see it headed in the right, for example, I work at Leap Africa, and it definitely influences my work beyond the 6 to 12 months. And in our own engagement as an organization, in engaging stakeholders, be it for our ecosystem building efforts, our thought leadership efforts, our advocacy efforts with the tri-sector, public, private, and non-profit entities, we're always asking ourselves this question: what are we trading off for the greater good? And how do we ensure that we actually engage the right stakeholders effectively? So those are the core things that are going to evolve as I advance. Thank you.